Let's talk about 8051 ports. Already we have seen the architecture of 8051. In this 8051 microcontroller, total we have 4 ports, port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3, and all ports are of 8 pins. Means each port is of 8 pins. We have port 0, P0.0 to P0.7. Even port 1 is of 8 pins, so we name it as P1.0 to P1.7. We have port 2 is of 8 pins, so we name it as P2.0 to P2.7. We have port 3 pin as an 8 pins, so we name it as P3.0 to P3.7. So each port it is a bidirectional port, so we can configure it as an input port and even we can configure it as an output port. We've seen that port 0 can act as an IO lines and even it supports low order address lines and low order data lines. Port 1 can support only IO lines and port 2 can support IO lines, and it supports the higher order address lines, that is from A8 to A15, and port 3 can act as an IO lines and even it supports some special functions like interrupts, counters, serial data, read, write, etc. Now let us discuss each and every port in detail. Coming to the port 0. Port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3. In your controller, if you see here, all the 4 ports exist in the SFR RAM area. SFR stands for Special Function Registers RAM area. It means port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3 registers are having a direct address locations in SFR RAM area. If you see port 0, the direct address location in SFR RAM area is 80H. Port 1, the direct address location in SFR RAM area is 90H. Port 2, direct address location in SFR RAM area is A0H. Port 3, direct address location in SFR RAM area is B0H. And all the ports are of 8 bits. Now if you take the port 0 here, we name it as P0.0 to P0.7, and P0.0 direct address in SFR RAM area is 80H. So obviously P0.1 will be 81H, so on. Similarly, P1.0 direct address in SFR RAM area is 90H, so it continues till P1.7. Similarly, P2.0 direct address is A0H and P3.0 direct address is B0H. Likewise, we can write 4 tables here, talking about port 0 as one table, port 1 as the other table, port 2 as the other table, and port 3 as the other table. Now let us see the hardware components which are present for this particular port 0. Here we are going to see all the components of port 0 in detail to understand much better. Now whenever we have P0.x, it means we are talking about port 0, and here x can be from P0.0 to P0.7. And let us talk about each and every component in detail. Like whenever we want to write something onto this particular pin, now we will be connecting input devices to this particular port pin, and even we can connect the output devices to that particular port pin. So whenever we want to write some data onto that particular port pin, first the data has to be written onto the latch. From the latch, the data will be transferring it to the output. Suppose if we are connecting some output devices to this particular port pin, means we have to configure this particular port pin as an output pin. Then only the microcontroller can transfer the output data to the output devices connected to the port line. So whatever the data the microcontroller is transferring, the data has to be saved onto the latch first. From latch only the input will be transferred to the output. Now coming to the D-type latch here. D-type means the output is equal to input. Suppose if 8051 microcontroller want to transfer any data to the devices connected to the 8051, first the data has to be placed onto the D-latch. Whatever the input is given in the D-latch, the same thing will be given as an output. Coming to the next pin, we talk about CL pin. Here CL is the enable input pin of latch. Okay, means we need to enable it. Coming to this enable pin, if enable input pin is high, means the input transfers to the output. So here the CL pin is the enable input pin of the latch. And if you see this particular part, this is the control logic circuit, like where port 0 of 8051 has dual functions, like it is going to act like an IO line, and it can act as lower order address lines, and even it can act as lower order data lines for the external memory. So whenever you use this control logic circuit, this is a control logic circuit, we use this control logic circuit mainly to decide, like if the control logic circuit is used for IO operation, then when we are using it as IO operation, then it is going to allow the data to pass through in this way. Okay, through 2:1 mux way. Whenever the control logic circuit is used in this for external memory, then we allow this particular data to pass through in this way. Okay, so these two are called as field effect transistors here. This is one FET and this is the other FET. FET is going to act like a switch here. So whenever high input is given to this particular transistor means then it is going to act like a closed switch and it allows the data to pass through. Whenever the low input is given to this particular switch means then it is going to act like an open switch. That means it doesn't allow any data to pass through. So in order to make the data to pass through, this should be given as a high input. Coming to the read latch here the read latch means here we have we got a read latch. If I enable this buffer with the help of CN pin, it will read the data whatever we are written onto the latch. It will read whatever we are writing the data. It will be reading the data whatever we are writing onto the latch with the help of this read latch. Coming to the read pin, this is also a buffer which is going to read the data from that particular pin. It is going to read the data from that particular pin. So these are the components we have here. Now let us talk about port 0 in detail. Now we've seen that port 0 is going to support your input-output operations, and at the same time it is going to support your lower order address lines and lower order data lines for the external memory. Now let us talk about port 0 is going to act as an input pin. Okay, now if you see here port 0, now for example here port 0, let us talk this diagram first. I want to act the port 0 as an output pin. Okay, let us talk about the input pin first. Like I want to use this particular port 0 pin as an input pin. So whenever port 0 is used for input operation, here a 1 has to be written onto the latch. 1 has to be written onto the latch. So one of the important point here is the control logic signal is 0. Why it is 0 here? I am not talking about external memory. So whenever you are talking about external memory, this control logic signal should be 1. But as I am talking about the input-output operations, obviously this control logic signal will be 0. Now in this case, if you see here, 1 has to be written onto the latch. So as you are writing 1 onto the latch, the input will be transferring to the output. So here the Q will be 1. Okay, it is reading that particular 1 here. Okay, and the Q bar will be 0. Okay, now once the Q bar is 0, it allows the data to pass through in this way 2:1 mux, and here it is 2:1 mux. It is going to take the input and the output will be as 0. So once the 0 is given to this particular switch, it is going to act like an open switch. Once it is acting like an open switch, it doesn't allow any data to pass through. Now coming to this particular direction, when you talk about this particular switch, let us talk about this control signal. As a control signal is 0, even the address and data is 0. If both the inputs of AND gate is 0, then the output is 0. Once it is 0, which is given as an input to this particular switch, then it is going to act like an open switch again. And whenever it is acting like an open switch, it doesn't allow any data to pass through. So here these two are going to act as an open switch. So this line is not connected to VCC and this line is not connected to ground. So this line is in high impedance state. High impedance state means it is neither connected to 1 nor connected to 0. So here now the port receives the data from the input. Now this port receives the data from the input devices connected to it, and that data is transferred to the processor. Now coming to the next one, let us talk about so the ultimate conclusion is if the processor want to read the data from the port pin means we need to make this read pin or control pin to 1, means it is going to keep or place the data onto the internal data bus of 8051, and the processor is going to read the data from that particular data lines. Let us talk about the port 0 pin acting as an output pin. Like whenever port 0 is used as an output pin, like whenever it want to write 0 onto the output pin, first what it has to do is, first it has to place the data onto the latch. Suppose if the data is 0, then when we enable this latch with the help of CL pin, the same data is visible as an output. Now as we have a Q bar becomes 1, and this input will be given as an output for this particular this input will be taken by 2:1 mux and the output will be 1. Whenever we are giving as 1 to this switch means then it is going to act like a closed switch. So it allows the data to pass through here. Now coming to this part, if you see this here, again the control logic signal is 0. As it is 0 and the address and data is 0, if both the inputs of AND gate is 0, then the output is 0. Once it is 0, this 0 is given as an input to this particular switch, then it is going to act like an open switch. Whenever it is acting like an open switch, it doesn't allow any data to pass through. Now this particular point, now this line, or if I measure the value at this point, it is going to be 0 because this point is connected to the ground. So here it means that as it is connected to the ground, then the processor can write 0. It will write 0 onto the output devices which is connected to 8051. Similarly, if I want to if it is writing 0 onto the output devices which is connected to 8051. Suppose if I want to write 1 to the output devices which is connected to the 8051, again the same thing here. If we are writing 1 onto the data latch, suppose we are enabling it. Once we enable it, the input will be transferred to the output. So here Q will be 1 and here the Q bar will be 0, and this is given as an input to the 2:1 marks. So the output will be 0 and this input is given to this particular switch. Once it is given as 0, it is going to act like an open switch and it doesn't allow any data to pass through. And even this control logic signal is 0, address and data is 0, control and logic signal is 0. If both the inputs of AND gate is 0, then the output is 0. Once it is 0, again the input for this particular switch is also 0. Once it is 0, it is going to act like an open switch and even it doesn't allow any data to pass through. So here both the switches are in the open state, and this point will be in a high impedance state, means which is neither connected to 0 nor connected to 1. So what we do here is pull-up resistors should be activated. This pull-up resistor should be activated. So I'll add one pull-up resistor to the VCC. What does the pull-up resistor do is it pulls a value of this point to the VCC. So the line can be connected to VCC, that is 5 volts or 1. So if I go and measure the value at this point, it is going to be 0. If I go and measure the value at this point, it is going to be 1, because this pull-up resistor is connected to VCC, that is 5 volts or 1. So if I go and measure the value at this point, it is going to be 1. So now the problem is solved. As it is connected to VCC, now the processor, as it is connected to VCC here, the processor can write 1 onto the output devices which has been connected to the 8051 microcontroller. Coming to the external memory here, when I am talking about external memory, we don't talk about this particular one, we talk only about this control logic circuit. Now if you see the control logic circuit, it is 1 and the address and data is 1. If both the inputs of AND gate is 1, then it is going to act as a 1, then it is going to act like a closed switch and it allows the data to pass through. Now coming to this 2:1 marks input, here it is 1, as we have a NOT gate, the output will be 0 and this 0 is given as an input to 2:1 marks, and it generates 0 and this 0 is given as an input to the switch, and this is going to act like an open switch, and this point is connected to VCC. Now 8051 can write something onto the external memory which has been connected to 8051. Likewise, we can talk about each and every port functionality here. Coming to the port 1 now, it can support only as an IO function. So if you see here P1.x, again x stands from 0 to 7, that is it is from P1.0 to P1.7. We have a same thing, we have a D latch, we have a read latch, we have a read pin, we have one field effect transistor, we have a pull-up resistor connected to VCC. So you can talk the same thing, whatever we have seen for the port 0, you can talk for the port 1, which supports input operations as well as the output operations. Similarly, port 2 you can talk, and similarly port 3. Here port 3 is also supporting your IO operations. Apart from that, it supports some special functions about interrupts, timers, counters, etc. But here you can show this diagram talking about supporting input and output operations, like reading something from the devices which has been connected to the controller. If you are connecting some output devices to the controller, for that particular output device, if you want to place some 0, you can do it, or if you want to place 1, you can place that 1 on the output devices which has been connected to the 8051 microcontroller. Likewise, you can see all these ports, port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. Thank you.